Hello everyone, Autism Father here. Just taking a ride in my minecart. I thought I'd show you something a little different today. I'm going to show you the entrance to my dual cave spider spawner House of Madness, what it ended up being. But it's got a pretty cool super secret entrance door that's on a timer. And I actually learned how to build this from GenerikB, the always awesome, always funny Minecracker, and I will give you the link in the description below. Check that out. He built it first. He's the first that I've seen to build it. He came up with it on the fly for his moonshine operation. So I thought it would be kind of fun to... Ooh, look at that. It switched my view for me. I thought it'd be kind of fun to build it in a bit of a different sense, and I put it into that baby right there. So as soon as this little ride is done, this scenic world loading ride, you play Minecraft on your computer, and then you get onto a server with friends. So I got a couple people on here with me. And it's a totally different experience. You see things jump around in spurts. You see mountains that aren't really there, but then they are. Yeah, it's different. All right, so we're gonna put this away. I have no idea how loud that actually was for you. If it comes across as like you didn't hear me at all throughout all that, then you're probably not going to be watching this video because I just won't bother uploading it. But in the odd chance that you did hear any of that and it's usable video, I'm going to show you what I made over yonder, and then I'm going to show you how to build it. As well, as I said, there's a link in the description to GenerikB, who the video in which he actually created this thing. He explains it pretty well in the video. I highly recommend you check it out, and you can actually skip the rest of this video if you're satisfied. But as soon as I show you what's going on over here, and you've had a chance to see that, I'm going to skip over to creative mode and give you a more in-depth look at just what's going on and how I built my variation of it. So here we are, Mr. Cave Spider. Yeah, it could look a little bit better, but you get the idea. Dual cave spider spawner, feed me to enter. There's no buttons, there's no levers. There's just his mouth. So what you do is switch over to any item. I use dirt because who cares about dirt? And you feed him. And he opens up for you. So you walk on through, and all on his own, he's done. Handy, right? Spawners, yeah. Right down there. To get back out, we don't want to be feeding him on the way in and out, so we can just trigger the door using this, and we're good to go. The wiring for this, I'll give you a quick peek before we go into building the whole thing, is back here. Up here we have two minecart hoppers, and these are where the magic works. That pulls the item through the dirt, goes into these hoppers down here, and into this chest. A couple of comparators here. Once something is in the hopper, fires off a signal into this repeater, through to this repeater, and shuffles this block over to more hoppers, more comparators, another signal, and one that goes off to pistons up there, and one that goes off to pistons over there. And this is the signal that comes from the button, hops right across all of them, and into this block, and sends the signal over just like these do. So, don't worry about it if that didn't make any sense. I'm going to explain it all much more clearly in a little bit. Here we are. Spawners. A little bit of a collection going on. Looking good, looking good. Alright. So, check out GenerikB's video in the description if you still need a little bit more info. Let's skip on over to creative. Hello. Welcome to creative, puppy. Hi, puppy. Yeah, hi. Alright. You thought I was talking to you. I was talking to the puppy. Alright, let's build ourselves a door. I think we'll need our little bit of space here. Now, in GenerikB's video, he built a door that only used one hopper. One minecart hopper, one hopper, and one chest. That worked perfect because he was making a hidden moonshine room. He just needed to pull a beam back. For me, I like to build doors that are 2 blocks wide so that I don't have to squeeze through. You know, like here I'm standing off to the side, there I'm standing off to the... Getting through, yeah, I mean, it's a minor thing, but I like 2 spaces. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to aim to have our doors. That will be one door right there. That will be the other one, so we will need these ones here. Yes, I hear you. There's caves down here. Aha. Alright. So, just to get prepared, we will need these guys to be powered so that the doors will be closed. Now, below right here is where we will have our spot to drop our items in. So, you have to count it out. Right here will be the ground. Let's give ourselves a little bit more room. The ground. Our minecart hoppers will be right there. Our hoppers will be right there. And our chest will be down here. Now we want these 2 hoppers to go in. And we want the minecarts to sit right here. Now it's very important that you make sure you have the ground first. This is what I did when I first built it. Was I dug out this hole and I put the chest, I put the hoppers, and then I put the rails on top, and then I put the hoppers, and then I tried to put the ground on top of the hoppers, and it would not place, and that's because there are rails. And then the minecart hoppers, you see how they go dark? That's because they're technically kind of inside that block. It allows it when you place it underneath, but it does not allow, if I took those out right now, the stone, I would not be able to put them back. Now, I can't hear anything, but these mine carts do make noise when they're on their rails. They're not right now, though, for some reason. But just to make sure that they settle into place and do not make any noise, we'll highlight the rail and break them. They're up a little bit high, but they will settle into place. And these guys right here, because they're a touch higher than a regular block, they will pull items through the ground into the minecart hoppers, into these hoppers, and then into our chest down below. Now, the way GenerikB had it was one of these guys to pull a signal out, but because our door will be 2 blocks wide, we are going to need 2 of these. Now, these guys will pull a signal from a hop. Oh, there they go. Look at that. Nice, perfect fit. Okay, these guys will pull a signal, but because there'll only ever be 1 item in these things, it'll only pull a redstone signal that will go 1. Which, when you only have a 1 wide item drop, that's fine. But I want 2, so we're going to pull the signals out and combine them, and that will give us a signal no matter which one we put it in. I need a stronger. There we go. See? So no matter which item which hopper we try to use, we will end up with a signal at this end, which is what we want. All right. Now is a skeleton too. Okay. So we got that far. There's just so many distractions, so many mobs. This is the flattest area I could find. I wandered this world for a few minutes, and all I saw was forest and mountains. That's it. Well, actually, I saw a desert too, but digging underneath a desert, not so great with sand that falls on your head. All right. Now, from here, we will take Now, the trick is getting a signal to both sides. It's not as easy as you might think. So we're just going to keep going back straight because we will need equal distance, I think. Now, right here is how we are going to have it send a quick pulse. It will power this, which will shoot it up, which will turn off the power and bring it back down again really fast. But before it can do that, this will pick it up and it'll shoot it through. So to demonstrate once again, I'm going to run out of items here. Powers it, turns it back off. Now when only one item is in there, it goes pretty quick. Okay. I hope that's right, yeah. Okay, so now that we have it doing that, we need another piston right here. This will power this piston. Now, we need hoppers right here, and these will serve as our timers. But to be an effective timer, hoppers need to be facing. So you need to put one, put the other one into it, and remove one and put it back again. And I'll see if I can back up to show you. They are going into one another. Now, if I place any item in here, you'll see it. That is effectively going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now, what we need to do is place this. This is basically a redstone torch. It's actually 9 redstone dust that makes a block, but it does the same thing as a torch. It sends power. So now, this item is not going back and forth any longer because this one is being powered. When this piston gets powered, it will push this block over here, and the items in here will move to that one. However long you want your door to stay open depends on how many items you put in. The more items, the longer those doors will stay open. I find, yeah, 17 is a touch long. 13, 12 or so usually does the trick for me, I find. I'm usually pretty happy with that. All right, now, just like over there, we need to get the signal out of the hoppers, so we use these guys once again. There, we got a signal because there's 13 items in here. Now, once we have that, you can see that this isn't the most compact thing ever, but it does work. All right. Now we place these. This one sends a power into here, turns off this torch. This one has no power. This torch stays on. When all the items move over, these will be opposite. But in the meantime, while items are moving, that means that there'll be items in both. These will both be on, and both of these torches will turn off. When that happens, this torch will turn on, and this will be our switch. This is what will send signals to our pistons up top, which will tell the doors to open up. And then when all the items from here move into there, this torch will turn on, this torch will turn off, this torch will turn off once again, and the doors will close. It's kind of like magic. Now, because we want our signal, there we go. Usually if I only have one door, one side to open, I'll just send it off, shoot it off down there. But we need our signal to go to both sides effectively. Okay, so we'll take this. Now, we want our doors. Where are these doors? Not this one, but this one. Right here. We're going to turn these on. Nope, right there, yep. What these will do is send power to our pistons. Maybe. Redstone is always so complicated. Okay, there we go. Power. So that our doors will close first and foremost, and then when we send an item into those hoppers, obviously there'll be a wall, right? Whoa, hello. There's our signal. Indeedy. Now, obviously this needs to be done quite a bit more tactfully than what I am doing here, but this is for demonstration purposes. We just want the doors to work, not to look overly pretty at the moment, but to work. And then these doors will have the same. Oops. Now, this one I believe will be over one. Oh, over two. And that's fine. Yeah, let's put this here. Here. Aha. Now, aha. Which means we are safe to close this up and walk through. All right. I know I just closed it up, but now it's time to see what's happening. As I said, our comparators pull power from the hoppers. In this setup, it doesn't matter which hopper you use, whether it's this side or this side. They will both send a power signal into their repeater through this comparator to these wires. Both wires will light up, no matter which one. That will send a signal to this block, which will power the piston under it. It shoots up, but it sends a short burst of a signal through to this one. This guy will move this redstone block over, and then that will trigger this hopper to move items over to this hopper over here, which will power both of these because they will both have items in them. Both of these torches will go off. That torch will come on, and then these torches will go off, and then those pistons will no longer be powered, opening the door. Oh, stop collecting. Thank you. And that happens. Yeah, must have freaked you out, eh, there, little Mr. Wolfie? Alright, so, to give you a quick demonstration on these guys, let's say I only use 3. Let's say I didn't want my doors to be open at all, basically, almost. Now if we drop an item, aha, very short. See that? Now, if I'm a slow guy or I'm expecting a party, aha, 33. Now I have all the time in the world. And then, once all the items are moved over, it takes a little while. There we go. Doors close. And realistically, you could put 64, you could put a lot in there. I think 12 or 13 or so usually does good for me. I don't find I need more time than that, and I don't really want anything following me. So, yep. Good stuff. Now down here, if you're so inclined, you can make yourself a nice little access way and gather up all the things you dropped in there. Takes a long time for a double chest to fill up, just one item at a time, but you know, you may want those items back at some point. If you're playing for years and years, it may fill up eventually. And there you have it. Close all this up. You have yourself a secret timed double door. I like to, on my world, as you saw, I have a spider. I think it just adds a nice little touch of creativity to say, you know, this is my mouth, so feed me. And then you throw an item in, and then you go inside. Now, that's one thing I didn't show. It's a good thing I just did that. If you need to be opening the door from the other side, this is the block you want to shoot for. So let's say right here. Now, oops, that will cut the power. All right. Let's say we have a switch or a button or something. Say there's a wall right there. That's a button. Use your imagination. That's a red button. Yeah. Okay. When you press the button, it opens the door. Just like that. And then when the button turns itself off, the doors close. So that way you don't have to feed things on both sides. You know what? I'm actually going to do it just to show that it. Just because. Here. So it does the exact same thing. Sends power down to this block, which makes it move up and then down, and that pulls power through here and then starts the timer. So you would think that pressing the button, the doors would just open and then close, but it actually triggers that timer just like feeding it does. So you actually have time to go and get this block and come back again. Behaves the exact same. So we can, there we go, polish it up a little bit. Again, these things you can do either which way. Since I already have double wide, because the door is in the middle of here, what I like to do is have the cable come up this way, and that way when I put this, right? But for demonstration purposes, I put it there. Okay. So yeah, see, if you don't hit it just right, it has to be on these two. There we go. Sounds like quite the contraption as the doors are opening, but yeah, works really, really well. Kudos to GenerikB for a really cool idea. I like our secret timed door. Let's be honest. I mean, if you saw this, well, forget the button. But if you saw this, would you know how to get in? Without like breaking it, would you know how to get through this? You would never know. There's just no way. You wouldn't walk up to it and go, you know what? I'm gonna throw a rock at it. It's brilliant. It really is brilliant. Kudos to you, GenerikB. All right, so that's my tutorial on how to build GenerikB's secret door, double wide though. My little version of it. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Love to see your versions. I'm sure there's ways to compact this, although I don't know what they are. But yeah, it's a great little system. So if you would like to use it in your world, have some fun with it. Build it out. Make yourself a cool feed me monster. And have a good one. I'll see you soon.